can you start reading and actually enjoy yourself? That's the topic of today's video. Welcome to day 65 of the 75 Hard Challenge YouTube edition. Only 10 days to go. Why should you read? Well, it's sexy, but that's besides the point. I find that reading can really benefit your mental health, and it can also be an escape. I use it as an escape a lot. I use it mostly as entertainment because I just love reading so much, but it's still a little bit of an escape to me. When I'm feeling like too many emotions, something really impactful is happening to me, I just go to my books and forget about life for a couple hours. And it does relieve my stress. That depends on which books you're reading, okay? Some can cause stress. Some have caused me stress. But most of the time, the books I read, they relieve some stress from me. To start reading, you have to mentally prepare yourself to make time to read. A good idea is to just swap your phone use with reading. That's easy because sometimes you just have 10-minute break in your life, and instead of scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, whatever platform you use, you can just read a little bit. Even if you're not going to complete the chapter, I know that can hurt sometimes, but it's better to read a little bit. Insert it as just tiny snippets in your time, just so it won't be too destructive. I mean, you might not be able to stop after you start reading, but I don't take responsibility for that. I'm warning you now, that might happen. If the book is good, that might happen. A lot of people say to read before bed, but if you don't read and you usually don't like reading, that's terrible advice because you're probably gonna fall asleep and not read anything. So read at a time that you're awake, and instead of grabbing your phone, grab your book or your Kindle, okay? Picking the right book for you is extremely important, because if you're thinking about right now, oh, I want to start reading, let me pick up Atomic Habits, girl, you're setting yourself up for failure, okay? No one likes to read self-help books. We read because we become adults, life gets a little too confusing, so we get some self-help books to help us see a little more clearly, and that can help sometimes. But if you're starting to read, start for entertainment and not just knowledge. Be easier on yourself. It can also depend a lot on your mood at the moment. If you're sitting here right now and you're like, I really want to read something, try to figure out what would you like to read. Is it romance? Is it something fantasy because it's not in our world, it's magic and kingdoms and dragons, whatever it is? Or do you want to read something that came out of a horror movie? It all depends on what you want to read. And a really good way to get some recommendations is ChatGPT or any AI assistant, or even Book Talk, but Book Talk can be a little hard. I fear that in Book Talk, a lot of personal opinions get in the way of recommending stuff. So AI might be a little more objective with helping you find a book that will work for you. And also something to consider is tinier books, so books with less pages, so you finish it quickly and then you feel proud of yourself for finishing a book. If you get a book that's like this thick, you're probably never gonna finish it. Ask ChatGPT for a specific trope, like enemies to lovers, magic, dragons, horror movie, whatever you want to read, and then ask for it to be a smaller book. And in a couple of days, maybe months, you can start turning it to a habit. Some stuff happened in my personal life that I lost the habit of reading a little bit, but I am slowly starting to catch up again. I miss reading so much. I'm not even in a slump. I'm just tired and I sleep before I can pick up a book. But start turning it into a habit just so you get used to reading. If you take the bus on your way to work, read something there. If you're stuck in a waiting room, oh, a bug. What the heck? Why do bugs? If you're stuck in a waiting room and you have nothing to do, pick up your book. It's those tiny slivers of moments where you have time to read. You start just, getting the habit of picking up a book instead of your phone. Because us being this addicted to our phones, it's just a habit, a bad one at that. Something to be aware of is expect reading slumps, not so much in the beginning, but along your journey. So if you don't feel like reading books anymore at one point in your life, you're like, maybe I stopped liking reading. You're probably just in a slump. It happens to all of us, and that can happen in many other ways. And I made a video recently on that, so you can watch it. And another way for you to make this habit stick is just to make it fun. Talk to people that also read. Go in book clubs that can be on Discord or real life. If you're one of those people, I wish I was, but not really. Annotate. I love annotating books and then going back into it. Or even challenges. Some people do that. I don't think I've ever done a reading challenge, but let's just say like your challenge is to read 30 minutes a day, or a challenge is to finish a book in 1 week. Just make it more fun, you know? Live a little. It's reading, not science. I have to kill that bug. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope these tips were helpful, and I hope you start reading. Subscribe. I talk a lot about books in here. Let's be friends. If you haven't watched the other days from this challenge, there's a playlist linked below ready for you to binge. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!